All right, we're bringing forth PR1328 frequency shift. Time is art. That's the the topic. The overarching topic that we're hitting on. Though at the same time, it's kind of a satsang as well, because it's not we're not preaching at you. We want it to be a regenerative sharing as well. So there's that. I just pressed the plus button on my thing, inviting a few people on my list. So
For sure.
that's the general feel, the general vibe.
I want to acknowledge Adachi. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correctly. Welcome to the space. Greetings. And yeah, I mean, maybe we can just set the tone. Maybe if there's, again, like any way we want to invoke the space right now, just to kind of get it going and then just dive into the conversation a little bit. As Bilal mentioned, this is really a matter of the frequency shift that as a planet we're all experiencing, but then also on our personal levels, we can each observe how it's occurring in our lives and, just being coherent as we navigate this thing together. So I just want to invite, uh, if somebody even has, I don't know, Bilal, if you have an invocation or a mantra or some way to ground the space or to welcome it in.
Okay. Yeah. I'll start it out with oh. In the name of the Most High, the Most Gracious, Most Merciful, we give thanks and praise for the opportunity to give thanks and praise. We give thanks and praise for the unity, brothers and sisters joining together for the glorification of all the higher, most high principles and the most high spirit. And we give thanks for all of our angels and spirit guides that have led us here and that are leading, other ones and ones that are on their way here. And we give thanks for the opportunity to harmonize and resonate together in this space and in higher and higher frequencies, focusing in on this truest, newest, beautiful reality that we're stepping forward into by the grace of the Almighty. Ashe, Selah, Amin.
By the grace, by the grace, give thanks, brother. And yeah,
Peace.
this new reality. I mean, I think that's a great place to start, just in the flow, because it does feel. I don't know how y'all are feeling right now, but this past several days has felt really sort of like almost like a watercolor painting. You know how like when water is like dripping on the canvas and it kind of like, I don't know, provides a magnification into the colors next to it. It starts to look all just different and feel a little different, a little soupy. I don't know. That's what I've been experiencing. And I noticed, obviously, then the Schumann resonance has been off the charts. There's been, and RuBen can talk a little bit more into that as well. But just curious how y'all have been feeling the energy just off the feel, not even the depth of conversation, just off the feelings the past, several days.
Well, on my end, certainly I've been feeling the intensity of the events that transpired in Jerusalem and in Gaza. I think the entire planet felt it, and because right now I'm in Colombia and I'm in the capital in Bogota, and Here we complete today 26 days of a strike, a popular strike, in which people are also going out to the streets to demonstrate their willingness to shift the paradigm and to change the statu quo. And in that process we can feel all these layers of resistance and friction, but at the same time we can also perceive the newness, no? The uniqueness of this window that we are now transiting, and that it's since May 20th we entered this 13-day cycle of the Earth that is about evolution and navigation. And we are closing today. We start the 44th week of the 13th moon year, and we are closing the moon of liberation, the 11th moon. So I think that those words, liberation, navigation, and evolution, are certainly good descriptions of what is taking place right now around the planet, and internally and externally.
Beautiful. Yeah, I've been feeling that, liberation and navigation, and all of those energies. I've been feeling it strong these days. Um, and just the vibe of being more cognizant of the energies, of the subtle energies that are at play. It's like the subtle energies, I'm feeling them stronger even now than, the overt energies. And some of the tools that we're utilizing as far as the Agnihotra, the knowledge of the time science, I feel like it's helping me navigate a lot better uh, between the two grids, moving from the Gregorian to the natural time. So it feels good to be more aware and alert of some of the energies at play right now. And I feel like, some of the energies, they're making themselves known more overtly, where before they may have been a little more behind the scenes on the low. Now it's like you can see everything in front of you, and you have that opportunity to choose, and make, that responsibility, to choose that right agreement, that right move, and navigate correctly. So, yep, give thanks.
I think it's powerful. You're saying the subtle is even more felt right now than the overt. That's a good way to describe what I think in this process of all the sensitivities being heightened. I know my partner Michelle, and she can speak about it herself, but obviously feeling the essence of the solar flares and the impacts there. So Michelle, maybe you want to say something. Riding the waves. That's right. I think it's appropriate as we're in the room together, and welcome to some of the new folks I see here in the room. Katie, peace and love, sister. We see Deborah's joined us. Um, the room, as has been mentioned, is PR1328. Now, what does that really mean? Well, it's planet restoration, and the frequency that we're operating at is 13 months, 28 days, which is actually a shift to the way through which we organize ourselves in time. And quite a while ago, the 13 moon calendar was introduced as a tool for humanity to make the shift, the actual shift we're making right now, in fact, as a way to get ourselves in alignment and in sync to nature's biorhythms and timing frequency. So 13 moons factored by 28 days is a total of 364, plus 1 day for what's called the day out of time that occurs every July 25th. According to the Gregorian calendar, it lines up to July 25th. And that is essentially a space where we emphasize global peace through culture, time is art, this idea that we are all here with creative potentials and creative proclivities and creative purpose. And that as each of us live more and more into our inherent natural frequency, talents, and gifts, then together essentially we create a work of art with the earth in this amazing creative process. I just wanted to posit that. And then in the 13 moon calendar, today is regarded as yellow self-existing sun. And at the top, we mentioned that our brother RuBen has just penned an article that you can look up on Facebook on Harmonic Convergence 2020 to 2028 page. I know that's a mouthful, and we'll say it again a little bit later. But you can look it up. It's a brand new article, but it concerns today's signature, which is very special. And given it's also a 555 mathematical portal, it's just helping us understand, like, when we have these frameworks or these codes through which to perceive, we can begin to better understand the synchronization that is underway. This has been kind of like an arc of time, so to speak, that this process has been ongoing. But when you begin to understand the multiple layers and see how they're all synchronizing, and as Isha was saying, they're in a way being pulled in together, they're converging very much. These timelines, there's a convergence of timelines, and with the proper tools and the proper perspective, you can actually witness it like in slow motion. And it's amazing because in that way, then you're not in a position of reacting to it. You're more riding the wave of it. And so it's a beautiful thing. And I want to invite RuBen to take us a little deeper. And Bilal, yeah, if you have something to say as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge our sister Adachi in the house. Uh, like you said, we see Kimberly and Deborah here, Katie, Siobhan. Um, if any of y'all just want to send a greeting or say something before we dive into the build with our great brother RuBen, feel free. And yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge everyone. Blessed love. Give thanks.
Thank you so much, and yeah, thank you to all the newcomers, and especially it's amazing to see the female presence, um, because well, this information is about the cycles of time. It relates to women in a very tangible way. We at the introduction, Brother Makua was speaking about the frequency shift to 13 moons of 28 days, therefore the name 1328, and how this cycle from biology is affecting not only women but all of us on Earth, and we have the opportunity to experience it in a very tangible way this during this entire moon that we are closing this week, because the 11th moon of the year is the moment in which on the 10th moon we it was about producing and manifesting, and this is about releasing, dissolving, and liberating. So we are in the process of dissolving all the structures to liberate our consciousness, liberate our inherent gifts and hidden in our DNA. And these solar activities are kind of arriving at a moment in which we are approaching um, a lunar eclipse, which is the opening of the first eclipse season of this year 2021. So this is signaling certainly a moment in time of climatic significance, because of the compounding effect of these cycles that we are now completing. And in that regard, it's important to acknowledge that these cycles are fractal in nature. So basically, we are going right now through a process that Jose Arguelles described as fractal time compression. And in this, what does it mean, fractal time compression? Is that we are living in one day a tremendous amount of shifts that have been happening over the past centuries on Earth. And so basically, in one day, we could be living almost 1 century of evolution. And because we are in the 13-day cycle of evolution and synchronicity, we are perceiving this convergence of cycles and timelines in a very, it's like the entire hologram is coming into manifestation. So the eclipse that is coming, the lunar eclipse, is going to serve as a preamble to the completion of another cycle of evolution called, that was also coined by Jose Arguelles as galactic synchronization, July 26, 2013. And basically these 2 days, May 25th and 26th, which May 26th and 27th, which corresponds to the eclipse and the completion of this milestone, or the crossing of this event horizon of galactic synchronization, are serving as markers announcing a vibrational shift. And the solar activity that took place yesterday, as synchronized with today, with the self-existing sun, which is the energy of that we are right now transiting, has to do with this compounding aspect of time. So today, self-existing sun is not on, is a very special point within the Solkin matrix of 260 days, because it's considered the golden section or the golden proportion. So we are right there having this conversation at this point of harmonic resonance, in which we can perceive different layers of the fractality. And how do we do that? Because this frequency of the self-existing sun, Kin 160, is not only the golden mean, but is also the alpha and the omega of the long count, which is the cycle of 13 back tunes of 200 or 260 generations. And therefore, today serves like as a holographic container for the entire 13 back tune cycle. It's bringing our consciousness and our awareness to those 3 points in time, which has to do with the start of the 13th Bactun cycle and the first generation of civilization, going forward to December 21st, 2012, and the end of the cycle on this same frequency. But it's important to note that this is on the traditional indigenous Maya count. The equivalent of today's kin is for a how. That's the how being the sun, and being the the 20th archetype of the calendar, of the sacred calendar that the Maya left. So these moments is good to take some distance of the drama that is playing out on Earth, and just contemplate the harmony and the messages embedded into this synchronization and convergence of important events and dates.
Mm.
Let's remember also that the today is also a Sunday, so it's on the Gregorian calendar is Sunday, and it's not any Sunday, it's Pentecost Sunday, which means that we are on completing 50 days from the celebration from Easter, or the celebration of resurrection of Christ. And Pentecost represents the pentagram, or five. And today on the Gregorian calendar also, in basic numerology, is like you mentioned before, is a 555 portal. So all these are markers that are allowing us to perceive the subtle harmony behind all the drama that is playing on the surface, and it gives like a sense of trust and ease in the midst of of all the friction that is experienced on the outside. And it's a perfect opportunity to dive deeper into the our internal world, and allow ourselves to be gentle with our bodies and take proper rest, hydrate, because these events that we see expressing on the third dimensional level of reality are basically coming from the fourth dimensional layer, which is time. So they are the what we can perceive today with the solar activity on a self-existing Sunday is that these frequencies are permeating the fourth dimension to the third dimension. And that's what Jose Arguelles said, affirm about the shift of December 21st, 2012. He described that moment as the interpenetration of the third dimension of space into the fourth dimension of time. And we are in that process, but now that we have 8 years from 8 years and a half, almost 9, from that marker, we can see it with much more clarity. It's like the dust is settling, and the water is clearing, and everything is becoming more and more crystal clear. So thank you so much for opening this space again for discussing these important matters, because not many people around the world are speaking about this. And so this is pioneering work, and it's opening the path for more people to join and be part of the new frequency and the new shifts that are happening on Earth. So thank you so much, Brother Maku and Giselle, for keeping up with the weekly broadcast of this show.
Yeah, thanks so much, brother. And I mean, there's a lot in what you shared. I want to acknowledge Tiara in the space as well. Peace and blessings. And brother Roland as well, who's joined in a little while back, and grateful to see you in here, brother. And I wanna reflect a bit on what you're sharing because it's a whole lot, obviously, and I think at the same time it's so concise. And what makes it concise is that, as you said, the the fourth dimensional lens of time gives us the ability to perceive more coherently third dimensional affairs, activities, meaning we're witnessing from all of the mathematical factors you're sharing being the phi ratio of the calendar, that happening actually right now today, in alignment with the solar flare activity and all these things. We've been then in real time able to observe not only synchronizations happening in our third dimensional timeline, but also some of the other impacts that are happening interdimensionally. And by that I mean across timelines, because we're saying that these things are happening in cycles, but we can imagine that as we spiral through time, it's like a spiral staircase. So if you're reflecting back on other points in the spiral, perhaps in what you perceive as the past or the future, then you're able to also see the harmonic arrangement or the beauty that is elicited from synchronicity. And I think that's one of the things that we want to emphasize in the space. When you do look at third dimensional affairs through a fourth dimensional lens, you see and observe the inherent beauty or the synchronicity and the synchronization of all of these activities so that we can settle into more subtle observation or getting more into our creative emphasis, whatever that may be, whatever your art is, your creative expression, trusting and knowing that that's contributing to the shift in energy as well. So I want to invite anybody out there as well listening who's feeling inspired or has a question. In fact, RuBen, if you can click on my profile and make me a moderator as well, so that I can, I think because you were in the room first, you'd have to activate me to be a moderator. Uh, yes, indeed. Thank you so much. And the same for Bilal and Ishel as well. Let's make them moderators. Okay. And there we go. There we go. We can share the responsibilities here. And again, anybody who has a comment or a question, or as with last time, we invited people just to share creative expression, what's on your heart. The thing about the fourth dimension and that lens is it is heart centric. It is that vibration. It's, it is subtle and it's beautiful and it fosters peace in a way. So I want to invite anybody who would love to share to do that. All right. Hey, Katie and Lakesh.
Hello. Peace to everybody here. It's so beautiful to be in connection at this time. So I just want to thank you for putting this together. And yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit. I'm currently in the desert in New Mexico. I was in Minneapolis for a few months and talk about just the connection to timelines and feeling the collective and the Schumann resonance, the solar flares, everything. I've been really affected by it quite deeply, and was called to come to the desert at this moment to really connect in through time and space to the rawness of the land. And I'm having a different connection to the elements here of the desert in a different way that is just very powerful, very potent, really strong dream time, and appreciating more because of the resonant frequency that I'm experiencing real time with the fourth dimension and the 1328 time. It's just really potent. And even though, I feel like so many of us are scattered all over the planet and we're having our own experience, really fine tuning ourselves to these spaces that we're remembering. We're remembering why we're here in this moment in time and why it is that we're merging these timelines in order to unite to create this new timeline. And I feel you all. I appreciate you. And I just wanted to share that because it's been strong on my heart. And just thank you again.
Awesome to hear and feel your presence in the space. And thanks for bringing that desert energy here, that raw connection to nature. Like you said, I mean, that's really each of us in our own way are being called to nature, or our nature in that regard. You know, when we look at the natural time phenomena, everybody has what's called their signature, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the sign of nature that you carry. Essentially, it's like a medicine you carry and you process through it in your own creative cycle. And so I wanted to invite that into the space as well, just for even those who happen to know their signature. Do you know your galactic signature? And if you do, maybe share it, or look into it. It's certainly something that's kind of a part of recalling or reconnecting to this raw and sort of inherent quality that the Babylon time frame cut us off from, frankly. And
Mm.
so by going to places like you're at in the desert, a raw, a very real place, that's exciting just to know that you're in that space right now, because again, it is a matter of the collective as well. So thank you for bringing that energy in here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm blue spectral hand 167, which we're in the spectral moon. So I
Mm.
think I'm feeling that even more so in my own journey.
Dissolution, liberation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. We are in the
Yeah,
spectral moon. We're wrapping it up. It's been a powerful, powerful sequence of events the past couple of weeks in particular, with the magnetic seed wave spell. It was so powerful, and now we're in the magnetic earth wave spell, all within the spectral moon.
yeah.
Beautiful.
I want to also extend my heart to Katie, who has been an amazing supporter of this cause and this frequency. And well, and yes, you are the 11th day of this current wave spell, and being the spectral tone. The next your next galactic return is going to be like a magic turtle day. It's going to, if it falls on this moon, I think it does, right? Let me check. Oh no, it's the first day of the crystal moon, your galactic return. So it's great to see how your presence is also giving us like a confirmation that we are in the right space at the right time, as you are. So thank you so much for being here in the room and sharing your wisdom from the desert.
Mm-hmm. My honor.
And Lakesh, Tiara, good to see you. And again, we'll invite anybody who has any
I'm
inspiration to
sorry.
share. Oh yeah, please, please.
My bad. I was pushing the wrong button, but thank you for allowing me in this space. It's a honor once again to be a part of the conversation, and I appreciate all of you beautiful beings out here. And I really want to learn more about what to do, like especially with the waves that we've been getting, because I like downloaded this app that shows, that gives alert like space weather stuff like that. So I've seen like literally we've been getting a lot, and it's just like what can I do, or what can I do with the creativity that I have to, change the frequency or whatever I need to do. Like I really want to follow more as far as what I can do in the third dimension, and just knowing how music works. Like music has literally created timeline, like society is created and shaped from music. You know what I'm saying? Like going down timelines, like you can listen to something and be in that timeline that the music was created. So it's like, what can I do, or what can we do? What can I put out to make a difference in the world? Using what I have and bringing in a new light, a new frequency. um, to create a different space. I guess that's what I think. That's what I'm asking.
It sounds to me like the answer's in the question. No, but no, that's a beautiful question. I'm so happy to hear that. That's, that's a great question. And certainly music has its role. I mean, it's I don't know that there's any one answer to the question, to be honest. What does come to mind for me is something I've focused a lot on recently, really since World Water Day, and coming to recognize, the physical substance of much of life is water. And water is so affected by our thoughts, but also our vibrations, and looking at, the effect that using sound, vibration, resonance can have on water, that becomes a method of transforming matter, essentially. And looking into, being part of the shift is like also affecting restoration, or the return to wholeness of ourselves, as well as of the overall body of water that planet Earth and all of its inhabitants really, really are. So that's been a bit of a meditation for me, in the pursuit of connecting my creative uh, ideas into something that can help drive and support uh, the change that I feel, like a way that I feel could be an impact. So I don't know if anybody else wants to respond to that. That's a great question. That's what comes up for
Something
me.
I was going to mention is, I know for me, when I open my mind and allow myself to channel, like when I'm playing the flute, these ancient melodies come through. And just innately, I feel like it's a part of reclamation of myself, and it has to do with um, connecting with these other timelines as well. And like Ruben was talking about, the fractal nature, to where one day can be a whole Bakhtun, which is like, or just, yeah, how it all unfolds in that type of way makes me also think of how some of the combatants, like for instance, like a Tutankhamun, they bury themselves like with all their treasures and all of this stuff. So that's just to say, some of these melodies that come through are actually melodies that we've played before, and can actually help us reclaim our treasures and greatness if we allow our mind to open to the channel, to our true selves. We can actually reclaim our treasures and reclaim those things that we consciously left the body with previously, in in another parallel timeline. Or it may be that you're playing a particular melody that you played that same day years, in an ancient time, and that can bring back memories and what they call DNA explosions. So that's just to speak a little bit on, my view on that topic.
Anybody else on stage, feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and share. How about Taj? Would you like to say something? We can come back as well. And maybe Adachi, would you like to?
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
okay. There we go. All right.
Hey,
Give it.
hey. This is my first time using this, so I'm still trying to figure it out.
Welcome,
Um,
welcome, brother.
yeah. What are we talking about?
Yeah, let's reset the room a little bit. But the room is about basically the frequency shift that's underway, and the general, or the range of ways in which we're finding that expressed. And we've been speaking with our brother RuBen a little bit, observing through a lens of natural time, 1328, and comprehending the frequency shift. And so the question Tiara introduced is great. What ways can we use our art to contribute to this time and the shift in a real way, in the third dimension, that can have real impacts.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel like one thing that could be very useful in this time is to really check in with our feelings and you know just really check in with our feelings, tune in to take some time, uh, really in, to intentionally tune in to uh, the energy that's present at this time, and to check in with our feelings and see how we're feeling, you know, as we move through this particular region of space time. And so, um, yeah, man, I really just feel as though when we do that, um, that the answers, are kind of there waiting for us, um, in our feelings, you know, and a lot of times we really we're so mental, we're so we're really shifting our attention and focus to the mental aspect of ourselves that I think that it would be helpful to really just you know really pay attention to the emotional side as well, to your feelings, and really start um, putting forth some effort in trying to learn how to interpret our feelings, you know, because there's a whole language that comes along with that. And yeah, I think that once we learn the language of our feelings, then that's going to just really turbocharge our expression and our art. And there's just so many jewels and great uh, uh, what's the word, the when you have like a eureka moment, it's a epiphanies that
Epiphany.
are, yeah, epiphanies that are waiting there in our feeling body, in our emotional body, and really, you know, will also allow us to tune into the messages that are current in now time, in real time, you know, and be able to kind of like harvest some of that now time information from what's that? There we go. You see? Thank you. Yeah, to be able to, harvest that cosmic information
Mm,
in now time, you know.
mm,
And yeah, I think that that's really where we're at, is is really positioning ourselves to learn a new language, you know? Like, in order to do things different, we gotta do things different, you know? In order
mm,
to see things different, we gotta do things different. We gotta come with a different approach. We gotta learn a new language on how to communicate with the cosmos. And I think that a lot of that communication is being had on a subconscious, intuitive, feeling, emotional level, uh, you know, a lot of the time. And so, it's just really upon us to really start uh, learning how to interpret what it is that we're picking up on, because we are walking antennas, And yeah,
It's like, are you picking up on what the universe is putting down? It's
you see.
interesting that I feel like one thing that comes up for me, I just wanted to say is that because there's a lot of stuck energy in the emotional fields of
Mm-hmm.
people. Like, part of what you're speaking towards is how we can move this energy along, and we're in this moon of dissolution, dissolving energy. So a lot of energy is stuck, it's blocked. People aren't necessarily connecting in with their emotions when that is available or should be something to focus into. I just wanted to point to that as well, because I think what we're experiencing is this dissolving of stuck energy, and it's manifesting in a lot of different ways, in a lot of variable ways. But yeah, that's very important, though, accessing the emotions, working with those energies, because they're meant to be in motion, right? And they are in motion. They're in,
Mm.
you know it's just a
Yeah,
powerful thing.
I want to add my 2 cents of the question from Tierra. I think that, well, in my experiences, that and like we have been emphasizing on planet restoration for since Earth Day, we are in a process of alignment, aligning with the Earth, and aligning our mental and our emotional and our physical bodies to the energy of the Earth. So what better time to do that, that this 13-day cycle of the Earth that opens a door, is an open invitation for us to explore our evolution as personas, but our evolution as a species too. Mm. And what how can we align with this larger pattern, this larger design, just by um, using these fourth-dimensional tools to be in alignment with this third-dimensional reality, and harmonize both worlds. Let's remember that the third dimension is of the senses, is space, and the fourth dimension is of the mind, that is time. And the more we align those two aspects of consciousness, time and space, the more we are tuning into these larger harmonic patterns that are allowing us to see that we just need to become available for these energies, for to it's not uh, to experience not us doing things, but something doing us. There's an energy that is working through us, and that is in alignment with a larger plan of evolution for this planet. And in allowing that um, connection to happen, between time and space, we are also connecting our both hemispheres, the left and the right, and our masculine and feminine aspects, and experience more coherence and more harmony in in our personal lives, and extending that to our circles of influence, and to society in general, and to humanity. So thank you so much for making the question, because it's something that comes up a lot, in reference to these codes, and the how we can use them in practical ways. So I think that this is a perfect opportunity to notice that, to open our minds and our hearts to a larger uh, framework for evolution. Uh, yeah.
Give thanks, give thanks. Yeah, give thanks for that beautiful sharing, that beautiful question, Tiara. Um, I'd like to invite my big brother Roland just to say anything from the heart. Come introduce yourself. I hadn't heard your voice in a while. I'd love to hear from you, big brother. From the Free Up, representing the Free Up.
Greetings, brother Bilal, Bhagavan.
Om Shri.
Yes, big up, brother Makua Ray in the house, in the clubhouse. This is blessed occasion. Big up to my brother Taj as well.
Salute, bro.
Yes, we come a long way doing the works, a long time. Big up to everybody else in the room. Many blessings to the family. Um, if you made it to this room in this session, and that means the work has begun. Well, a lot of us have been doing works before we got to this point, but everybody can feel that this is a very special time, and not only our current modern history, but we can feel the galactic history. We can feel the ancient vibrations blending with this new age, so to speak, that we are in. And there's been a lot of good suggestions, a lot of good testimonies already. So it's not much more to say except for the time is now to, if you, if anybody's listening that's been on the, I'll say the fence of whether they should really get activated and get active in pursuing their talents, their gifts, what's called a gift wave, pursuing whatever you're good at for the greater good of this planet and for the whole universe. This is your, if you're waiting for a confirmation, this is your confirmation. It is time for us to get active and also to put aside petty differences between different, um, any kind of differences right now does not matter. Any kind of difference right now needs to be put aside for the greater good of this planet. This planet is past ready to ascend, and we're all here because we feel the vibrations. Otherwise, you would not even want to hear anything anyone on this panel has anything to say. So if you're here, welcome, and I honor you, and I bow to everyone. And it's also time for us to um, take this mainstream. It's time for us to take this awareness mainstream. We've been in the shadows, and we've been kind of tucked away in our cocoons. Some of us have been doing works uh, very visually, but there's strength in numbers. So I feel a lot of synergy, a lot of energies coming together, a lot of people coming together and finding this cause, finding out that we're not as different as we thought we were. And that's a great thing. So, um, that being said, I just want to thank everyone again for being here. Thank Brother McCool for inviting me. Bless up, brothers Bilal and Taj and everyone here. It's been a pleasure and an honor, and looking forward to expanding on this energy and um, inviting everyone to the free up as well as we synchronize, as Brother McCool says. Um, it's time for everyone. It's time for the free up. It cannot be stopped, and planet restoration cannot be stopped. So, blessings to everyone. Give thanks.
Ashe, ashe. Give thanks, big brother. Word up. I'll bow to Makua.
I was going to invite Adachi to offer a word as well in the queue there up on stage with us. Greetings.
Greetings and blessings, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be on the platform on the stage. This is really cool. Um, yeah, I wanted to actually backdoor on what Todd said a little bit, but expand it a little further and say that love. Um, I believe that the frequency of love has definitely been downgraded throughout the centuries. And it's time for that to elevate to its highest potential. More love for one another, more love for the planet, more love for the plants, the animals. I mean, just we need the love back. And I believe that the 555 for me, because I am a EFI priestess, and Oshun is 5, and Oshun is love. And those numbers are very, very strong with her, and those numbers represent love. So just with this day and just this energy and the frequency, for me, I just believe that love is where we need to go. We need to begin to elevate more with love. Love is all things. Love conquers all things. And for so long we've been kind of deprived of that. Even with the emotions, you can't be too emotional. You can't be free to express how you feel, and any of those things, you'll be looked down on, or cast out, or whatever, because God forbid we have emotions and feelings and actually love one another, and even just more love for self, more self-love, self-building. And yeah, that's just kind of where I am with it. I've definitely, this month for me, this whole fifth month has been nothing but love frequency. Everything is love. Even just being in my garden and having the birds and the butterflies and bees and just all around me. It's just been amazing, and I know that that's the frequency of love. So yeah, I just challenge everyone to exercise more of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing that you said that. Like, that's literally my motto. Like, moving in the way that I navigate in the world, I allow love to be the compass, because I like, without the navigation or being inspired by love, I really don't know which way or what to do. And so, what better way to be led by than by love, whether that's self love or love for my neighbor, seeing myself in my neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Is a form of love. And so that's how I navigate in the world. I actually just got out of a book club meeting about the mastery of love. So that, like, it's
Okay,
literally
Queen.
a
That's
frequency.
right on time.
Thank
Confirmation.
you.
Ashe.
Yes, I say thank you for that.
Ashe, ashe. Yeah, and that brings to mind to me as well. The last clubhouse we had, Manifest Ra said something about how uh, art surpasses words. So the level of love is, it's like it's a universal energy. So it's not just intimate. It's not just family. And through through art, through music, through poetry, through storytelling, you can transmit that love vibration in a way to where it can be felt, you know, even beyond just the words. You can feel the energy behind the words. You can feel the energy behind the melody. You can feel the energy behind the story. So I feel like that it ties in that way as well. And it also brings to mind the topic of, excuse me, time is art. Um, yeah, there's that thing of the worth of art. And what will hold us, what holds us in this space to be vibrating on what is love. And from what I've been feeling lately, it's in the intricacies. Like I want I want to be guided in the intricacies of life. And I feel like the intricacies are so important because, like, for instance, I I'm manifesting a house for myself and my youth right now. Though I don't want just any house. I want the creator to deal with the details for me, the intricacies, because you could end up in a house that has a bad energy or bad lighting or though it's most high that will it's that divine presence that will link us into those intricacies. So I know I just went on a whole path, though. That's a few thoughts I've been thinking as of late.
I think that like this is like the perfect place for what I'm going through. I can speak on it. Like a lot of people in the world, like I lost my mom during this pandemic, and it's been different than when like I've lost other family members. Like ever since I was little, I've sensed different things like spiritually, but with losing my mom, it's been way different. Like there's been times where you kind of feel like you kind of feel like they feel lost because it, I mean, she didn't have COVID, but it was sudden. And I feel like if I'm going through that, I'm pretty sure that there's like other people out there that's going through the same thing. And like if I'm sad, there's like a tug of energy on like, oh, you can't be sad. Like I can't have her be sad and I'm sad. Like there's a different connection. But the thing I notice is there must be some kind of shift going on because like different things have been happening just this week, and I feel like if it's almost like it's like an anger thing where like why am I like I feel like there's a lot of people that are gone that may possibly be lost and not understand like okay, maybe I was at home one day and then all of a sudden, I'm gone. Where am I? I'm lost in the world where they're confused. There's a lot of confusion. And so different things have happened and there's been like a sense of anger and like there's things where I'm just like that's not supposed to happen. I know I'm not crazy, like what's going on. So I literally like yesterday I actually had to sit and I felt like it came to me because I was the person that had like with my mom, she went to the hospital, she assumed that she was going to come home. That's where she was mentally. But then I was the person that had to say no, you can't come home, you just have to go. And so that's when I felt after her transition like there's a sense of loss cuz she doesn't understand where she is. But definitely taking it to yesterday after like different things that were happening, and it was becoming like very unsettling for me because I still have to survive on this side and I can't just keep having these things just pop up out of nowhere and it feels like it's out of anger. So I had to sit down and I always thought I was that person like I'm not the person that's gonna like write letters. Like people have to write letters for closure or thing like that. But I didn't have to do that. But I did have to sit down and like, okay, I know words are powerful. So wherever her being is, hopefully these words are gonna get out there, and you're gonna be able to. This message is literally, I need to get this message out there and explain like what we found out and why I had to make the decision that I needed to make, and that you're okay where you are and you really are better off on where you are. And also the thing like when saying that the people there's a sense of loss, I think that will come up with love. Like a lot of their souls, we need to love on them basically, because after I wrote that letter, like something else happened, but I took that more of as like a sign of okay, maybe she got it and she understands. So there is like a definite shift like in the energy that's going on, and like it will throw you off. It's thrown them off, but once I was able to sit down and say this is what happened, and that person can get that clarity of, okay, this is why I'm here now, and it's okay, you move on, and we love you here, but you just can't be here anymore. And then to get a sign like, okay, I'm hoping it's okay now. But yeah, definitely to just love on the people that are gone, and it will kind of calm down their energies and like eliminate all that negativity, because it just like, I could feel the anger, and it was just like, I'm not going crazy, but the things that were happening, like, no, that can't be happening. Like, things happen at night, in the daytime, like, no. So, I love you, you got to be gone, you're gone, but just kind of move on. And I just say, like, if it's me, it's not just me. There's just like you said, there's a shift in the energy between the two worlds, and that's how that's what I had to do to kind of calm it down for me.
It's a powerful, powerful testimony of what you're encountering and how you chose to navigate it. So
Yeah,
thank
because just different things. Like I was saying, there was like my mom. She was very close to her best friend, and she was like, she's been telling me, oh, she comes to me, she speaks to me, and she showed me something, and I said, yeah, okay, but I don't want to see that, and I don't want to deal with that situation like at night myself. And that same night, I had like a very bad. I couldn't sleep, but at the same time, I felt like somebody was like slapping me awake, all because I just said, I don't want to deal with that. And every time, like when I would wake up, the same thought kept coming up, like, yeah, you are going to deal with this. I'm like, okay, I get the message. I got it. So that's why I understood, like, words are really powerful. So that yeah, they need, but loving on her and giving them that understanding, like, say if somebody, like, oh, you were sitting in a chair happy one day, and then all of a sudden, people passed on. There's that confusion. So there's going to be someone that really, if they can like make the connections for them to why you're not here, and you're there, and you may want to be, visiting somebody and want to be here, but you're not supposed to be here anymore. And I had to let you go because you couldn't be here anymore. But this is why it wasn't, I didn't do it in vain. And it wasn't anything, there was no malice in it, but just giving them that understanding and that clarity, and hopefully it'll help me too.
you. That's powerful. I
Yeah, it
mean, it's
was.
yeah. I mean, what I'm really receiving as you're sharing your story is that the physical body is it's not a limit, in the sense that you're still able to have that energy, clarity, exchange, comprehension with her soul, with her consciousness, you see. And that,
Yeah.
because you were able to, even operating your intention, which was a pure intention to support her liberation in a way, from beyond the body, but to be able to communicate that intention as well energetically, to provide her that solace, and provide, like you said, for yourself as well. So
Yeah, because
that's
it's like, you don't know mentally. Like yesterday, before I wrote the letter, I'm sitting here, I turned my TV off, and then 10 minutes later, the remote control's upside down right next to me, and it starts flickering, and the TV comes on. And it has to boot on a certain way for it to come on. And so then I watched that, and I'm like, okay, the TV is coming on. But after I wrote the letter, that's when it got really weird, because I know she was a big sports fan. And that time, before it even like booted on, it had already been set at ESPN, and then it comes on. And I'm just like, that's not supposed to happen. When you have to kind of go to that place on the remote control. So that's when I understood, like, okay, maybe she's more understanding, and that will give her some peace. But yeah, it's like you sit here and like, did this really happen? Is this really happening? Okay, I get it. I'm like, I'm not crazy like these aren't crazy things, but I understand it. And I just say, if it's me, it happening to me, it's not just happening to me.
no doubt. No, we're all in our various ways navigating these shifts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So thank you for sharing
Oh
though
yeah, thank you for
we,
understanding, cuz that's the thing too, to be in a space like this where, I can share this and people kind of understand what's going on
mm,
versus if you're sitting there you tell somebody like, "Yeah, did that really happen?" Like, this stuff is happening. I'm not crazy. So, thank
Ashe.
you.
Ashe. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. And I want to add to that this energy of this moon, especially since we are approaching an eclipse, uh, this the veil that is separating dimensions is very thin. It's about this moon is about dissolution, so it's this you are at least the third or fourth person that is having paranormal activities going on, and it's important that we recognize that since we are merging this third dimension with the fourth dimension, this is probably going to become the new normal. So we the more we tune in, the more we see the uniqueness and the perfection of those little moments, like the TV turning on by itself in the right channel to receive the message that we just needed to hear. And this is how these two dimensions communicate, this electromagnetic vibration with this material third dimensional reality. So thank you for sharing your experience and for being so open about it and sharing it with us.
Yeah.
It's really powerful.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, give thanks, give thanks. Love that. Yeah, in the light of time is art and the energy of love being the language that, transcends all, like that's the most powerful thing in existence. I would like to share some art. There's one tune, this is a tune that I would call one of the Sons of Light tones, though uh, who we call Abba Or affectionately, one of our teachers, he's actually singing on this song. So let me see if I could cue this up for you all. It's a powerful vibe. All right, check it out. Actualize it. Just actualize it. I feel no pain. I awaken to you. We awaken to your love. I awaken to you. Heavenly Father, I awaken to you. We awaken to your love. I awaken to you. Divine Mother, every morning that I rise, I must give praise to you because you make me realize my life is so brand new. And every breath that I take, it reminds me of the truth, that of the essence of your love, we're through and through. I awaken to you. awaken to Heavenly Father. I awaken to I awaken to your love. I awaken to Divine Mother. We awaken to We awaken to you. We awaken to you. We awaken to you. Heavenly Father. Bless Yes, yes. Just wanted to give y'all a little sample of that. And that's the Sons of Light. We're backing up Baba G on that one. So, yeah, just want to open up the sharing of the art, want to open up the space for some sharing of art.
That was amazing.
Give thanks, give thanks.
Anybody else have some creative expression they'd love to offer in the space? Could be a poem, could be a song, even just a word, whatever's on the heart.
Yeah, I mean, I can share something. Um, let's see. This is Mama's Home. I've shared this I've shared this in the group before, and I think it's on Instagram too and YouTube. So here's Mama's Home.
Be sure to bring your listening device as close to the phone as possible. We really would love to hear it really well. Yeah, Mama's home.
Can y'all hear that?
Mama's home, 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 home. Mama's home. Yeah, Mama's home. Yeah, Mama's home, 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 home. Mama got thunder. Yeah, and that light. Yeah. Mama give me life, yeah. Oh, when she takes that stride, yeah. Oh, yeah, mama's home, 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 home. Mama's love, yeah, mama's life, yeah. Mama feeds me good, yeah. Oh, and play side, yeah. Oh, mama's home, 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 home. Thank you, mama. Oh, thank you, mama. Mama's home, 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 home. Thank you, mama. Oh, for the love. Thank you, mama. For life, yeah. Oh, thank you, home, 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 home. I can breathe, yeah, I can breathe, yeah. Mama's home, 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 home. Thank you, mama. Thank you, mama. Thank you, mama. Thank you, mama. Thank you, thank you. Home, 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 home,
Ashe.
It's us.
Dope.
Thank you. Thank
Give
you.
thanks.
Thank you. When I
Thank you.
since
Thank
I've
you.
been creating lately, I've been called to make it more tribal. You know what I'm saying? Like I put down my native instrument and I just started beating on a bucket and grab my shaker and stuff like that. And that's what I like in the last few that I've been creating. It's been more tribal, more drumming, and that's exactly what I want to bring back. Thank
Creative reclamation. I love that.
Hmm. Roots and culture right there.
Straight up.
I love that.
thank you.
So that was like you were like playing some glass bottles or something. What was going on? That was so many textures too.
Yeah. It was, let's see, I was beating on a bucket and another was a pencil in a glass with water in it and then the shaker and I think I added some more of my voices in the background like humming and stuff like that to make it real
Mm.
like like a spiritual hymn or something like that, like old school.
Yeah. Yes. For sure. Mm. Wow. Time is art. That's a good expression of it right there.
Can
Perfect.
I share something? I think
Please,
this
please.
is like the perfect opportunity to do this. So, on Clubhouse, there's a sister queen named Beverly B, and she's an ancient sound healer. And she plays every musician, but percussion and piano is like um, her specialty, you know. But when I tell you this woman is healing the world with her music, and Tiara, because you played that, I was actually in Instagram messaging Siobhan to come over tonight to listen to the sounds because she'll heal if it's a body ache, if it's just stress, if it's just your heart, whatever, like anything that's going on with you, like she can heal you through her ancient sound healing, right? But Tiara, there's a session she just added on Thursday nights, which is poetry. There was a guy in our session, and he's a poet, and he just comes on, and the spirit told her that someone in there played music or something. But anyways, he ends up saying, yeah, I've been writing poetry for years, and I've never been able to express it. So now she has him on her platform every Thursday night. And I mean, it is magical. So I'm saying to you, she loves to pull people on stage with her to share their gifts with the world, their healing gifts with the world. And your music, your percussion, I think that it's a perfect fit. So anyone, if you could join every night around 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, she comes on and you will not be disappointed. And actually, she'll play over you if you request a song, and none of the music is rehearsed. It's all given to her through spirit at the time, and I just think it's a wonderful space. So if anyone wants to come over, it's 10:30 tonight. Her name is Beverly B, and it's the Ancient Sound Healing Room. So there you go.
Oh, that's
Thank
amazing.
you. I definitely just wrote that down. Beverly B. What's the title again?
Ancient Sound Healing. She plays in 444 hertz. So
Mm.
it's wait till you come, Siobhan. Wait till you come. I'm telling you, y'all gonna be hooked. Y'all are gonna be hooked. We all did a healing. The whole group, everybody that was on, was probably like maybe 50, 60 people last night, and we all did just this spiritual healing of forgiveness. Whatever forgiveness you needed to do for yourself, or someone that hurt you or whatever. And it was just, you could feel the energy. People were crying. It was just amazing. So yeah, come over, you got to come over.
Sure will. Thank you.
Give thanks.
Oops, my bad, y'all. I was talking to y'all and I was on mute. I was asking if anybody else is feeling a creative urge or inspiration to share into the room right now. I'm getting a vibe actually, and a few of you in here would remember, but there was a vibe in Atlanta that we used to do called the Womb Room, and another one called the Movement, and I'm getting like some of those vibes as we're in this creative process together. I have a feeling this is going to really grow and you know present a similar space for folks here in the sense of what we used to do with the movement. And one such refrain was from our brother Taj: take some time. In fact, I think you actually used those words today when you were speaking to us earlier. Take some time each day to think about love. Take some time in my life to think about us. Maybe you might want to hit a little refrain on that, Taj. What you think? A little acapella?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, calling him
Can we
out.
get a taste, brother?
Can we get him? Hey, I don't know. Maybe he's not. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's.
I did feel those warm room
He
vibes.
might be. He might. Yeah, womb room. Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take some time each day to think about love. Gonna take some time in my life to think about us. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa.
whoa,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa, whoa.
whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the way, last week, the song that I played, Ancient Ways, that was one of Taj's songs as well. Just for those who were there to witness that great music.
Ashe, Ashe. Well, I know we're going to be bringing more of these vibes through here, PR1328. I mean, what I'm really gathering from the last two times we've gathered is that the frequency shift is about us stepping into the heart through our art. Like, that's the piece. And each one of us have this gift to express. I love what Brother Roland mentioned, though, as the gift wave. Like, that's facts. So I would love. We're gonna invite Katie back up to the platform. Certainly, come on up, sister, and share your heart.
Hey, thank you, Makua. And thank you, everyone, for, just sharing what's on your heart in your now. And I feel called to just share part of a little story. And as I shared earlier, I'm in New Mexico and I got called to come here, drove down from Minnesota. And as I was driving, it was just this open space of being able to really listen to spirit in a way that in no way was rational, which if anybody knows me knows that that's how I roll. And I was on a mission, like I needed to get to outside of Denver at a certain time, and I was like, I'm going to get there in this exact time frame. And I hit a blizzard. I was in a snowstorm in a blizzard in Cheyenne, and there was really no way that I could move forward. So I had to stay in Cheyenne, and as I did, I had this really beautiful insight into honoring transition and honoring the space between. So I wrote this letter to Cheyenne, and I wanted to share it with you because it represents a lot more than the letter which it will speak on. Cheyenne, I didn't see you coming. You're more than a place and a people's. You're the gift into the unexpected space, where following the unknown, true and right, leads to alignment with my inner compass. You, Cheyenne, pulled me in before I could reason and shared the importance of the space between transition. You cocooned me with snow and fire. You paused me to allow my ears to tune themselves with this new space. wisening my heart and steadying my walk. I've learned a thing or two. I don't know anything. I'm here for it all, and I've never felt more whole. The dynamic space we reside in is a continuum, ever evolving, curious spaces available at our fingertips. We must remember the space between with honor. We greet ourselves and all that is there. And it felt like this moment that just reminded me, as we move into these, higher frequencies, and we're elevating and expanding at such rapid speeds, that we that have free will and the ability to really tune in to being the guide of our own paths by letting it pass through us. That space between is just so potent and important for us to pause to recognize where we've come from and where we're going, and honoring it. And that has been happening for me a lot more frequently, where I'll have these moments of grieving, but it's coupled with this bliss of just knowing I have to let go in order to open to what's calling me. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. Thank you.
Powerful share, sister. Can you repeat that last line of the piece that really stood out to me? Just say that last line.
Um, hold on just a second. I closed
Thank
my. Yes. The last bit was: the dynamic space we reside in is a continuum, ever evolving, curious spaces available at our fingertips. We must remember the space between with honor. We greet ourselves and all that is there.
you. Ashe. Give thanks.
Beautiful. Wow. Profound.
Peace.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Want to acknowledge Deborah listening in the audience. Greetings, Deborah. Just wanted to acknowledge your name and your presence here. If you have anything you'd like to share, feel free to raise your hand virtually, of course. And we'd love to welcome you to the stage. And also, I want to say, like, I'm really grateful for this moment. I feel that we've all been, heart centric in this together, and greeting the in the time of transition, as your letter speaks to, like we're entering this new phase into this next lunar eclipse, which feels like its own transition of sorts. So I'm just grateful that we're all, anchoring some energy in this way. Particularly, we've emphasized the love, the heart, the art. Let all of these energies and intentions and offerings be what we bring through with us, So this is just a beautiful moment to synchronize, synthesize, and harmonize with all of you.
Yeah, I agree. And I just wanted to mention, like, with all the locations that we are at, we're setting a grid of energy grid with this synergy that we have tonight. And yeah, we just give thanks for the flow, we give thanks for the moment, and we give thanks I give thanks that we've taken the time to, like you said, to honor this space in between, to honor this moment and this present, and receive the present. Because it's one thing to, be gifted a present, though to receive it, not everyone's doing that. So give thanks and praise. Alhamdulillah.
Thank
So,
you so much.
yeah, I was going to say, go ahead, Ruben.
Yeah, thank you so much to Yishel for all the insights and for bringing together and recapitulating all the conversation and everyone's takes and everyone's experiences. And yeah, I want to just add to what you said and what she said, and everyone has been reiterating about the importance of being in the heart. That uh, we have the opportunity right now to really open the heart, and sometimes it's probably not be very comfortable, but it's allowing us to hold space for everything that is happening now. So it's our compassion is growing, and our this idea of love that we romanticized. We are seeing the full spectrum of the word and the feeling of love, and of really operating from there in the heart, even when it's not that easy, or when we are triggered. So it's important to remember always that we need to be compassionate first with ourselves, and then to extend that compassion to the world. So let's be gentle with our hearts, and with our still with our shadow side, because this light that is coming in is bringing that shadow up. So it's sometimes it's easy to judge ourselves harshly, and this is just how the energy works. So it's just the less we judge, the more open we are going to be, and the more compassionate we are going to also feel. And yeah, inviting everyone here to expand the love and the frequency with their loved ones, and share this information, especially now that we are entering this threshold of uh, timelines, the convergence of timelines. And the encouraging everyone also to sign the petition that we launched with Makua back in 2016, to hold that intention, to hold that vision of that sacred space and that sacred time for humanity to shift its frequency to a 1328 measure or harmonic standard. So thank you everyone for showing up and for your presence, and thank you Makua, Giselle, and Bilal for organizing this sacred space and this sacred time. And I just look forward to the next week, and see what shifts this earth wasteful is bringing to our awareness, so that we can share it here within a safe space, that we can be real, and at the same time we can be surreal. We can be we can bring from bridge the two worlds, the imagination with this reality, and build the future in that way. So thank you so much.
Wow, beautifully said, brother. So much in what you said. And yes, I mean, I definitely feel like we're in that moment where imagination is called forward. So, I wish everybody a beautiful next several days with this eclipse energy as well, being really in your heart and in your art as well. And the other thing, as Michelle was speaking, what came up for me was the idea of align and allow, because sometimes we think of alignment as something we have to do. Yet, I also think there's something to the receptivity of allowing this galactic energy that's coming through to do us in a way, to just be available to it, so that we can be instruments in our own ways to serve this transition, this shift in energy. So we do what we can do to be in right alignment with our truth, with our heart, as Taj said earlier so powerfully, like be in touch with our feelings, and work with the energy and motion to create what it is that we have to create, what it is ours to create in that way, and also allow ourselves to be instruments and vessels for this shift in energy, because it's intelligent. This energy is highly intelligent, and as we are also intelligent in our own capacities, I was saying something earlier. We know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know, you know? So the things we know, that's good. And let's also allow that there are things we don't know. And ultimately, it is all good. So it's a matter of being in the flow, in a state of surrender and an assurance that as you are love, as I am love, as we are love by nature, we're going to see that reflected and manifest in greater and greater expressions in our lives as we continue to journey in this way together. So, prayerfully, we can all tune back in with each other in 7 days' time. We're going to continue to hold this space here on Clubhouse as a way, as RuBen said, a safe space to have some of these more surreal conversations, as well as how that really does give us a lens into the third dimensional so-called reality as well, and how we navigate that in a real creative way. So thank you all.
Thank you. It was beautiful. This was amazing.
In Lakesh.
In my cash. Give thanks for all the sharing. And for those who don't know their galactic signature, um, look forward to, a next build where, you could share your birthday with us and we'll go in and decode it for you. And because really, as a community, we want to, look through that fourth dimensional lens, and there are ways that we can see how we're all related as well, um, through our galactic signatures as well. So that's just something coming up you can look forward to. And yeah, invite anyone that you feel belongs here in this space with us as well. So give thanks and praise.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. If I'm not mistaken, mine is the yellow galactic seed. If I did all my numbers right, but I just really want to really quickly thank you for this opportunity. Like you said, everything is aligning, and like I lost my job and all that stuff like last week, but I wasn't scared. I was actually excited because the universe is making space for
Mm.
something else, something bigger. You know what I'm saying? So there's no fear. The fear is the
Hey,
unknown. The fear is the unknown, but I know that everything is going to be all right. Lately, I've been creating more. I've had more time to do that. I've been feeling a drive to go to the park, and I've been going to the park and connecting with Earth, and and making a space for those who don't have time to go into the park and connect with the Earth because they're caught, in the matrix, like, you know what I'm saying, like bye bye bye, sell sell sell, work work work, and die. This thing that we're going on, and I just hold space for people who feel like they can't. And so wherever I'm led to go, we still gotta, make a living and all this stuff, but I trust the universe, and I'll just keep on spreading love and being a vessel. So I really do appreciate this space, and I thank y'all so much, Planet Restoration.
Ashe, ashe.
Wow, if you are a yellow galactic seed, you are the portal, and you're a beautiful confirmation for this conversation. So I honor your signature. I would love to confirm if it's yellow galactic seed, because that's the portal, and that's the 0 point of this 52-year cycle called New Zero Cycle 1 that started in 1987. We are currently on New Zero Cycle 33, and this 52-year arc is going to close on July 25th, 2039, which is Kin 33. So yellow galactic seed was the exact 0 point of those 52 years, and so it's the heart of this matter. So you are the heart of the matter.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah, we call
amazing.
that a synchronicity. That is in real time. All of you have just heard a very major synchronicity because as RuBen was writing, and hopefully the post you'll get a chance to check out on the Facebook page, Harmonic Convergence 2020 to 2028, he speaks of in a few days' time from today, we'll be observing the 11th Zolkin or 260-day cycle since a particular day called galactic synchronization, which was a major anchor for the transition we're all experiencing right now. So it's a phenomenal synchronicity, in fact, you know. So yeah, maybe just confirm. Do you want to just
Yeah, let's do that.
when is your birth date?
Ye- My birthday is July 6th, 1985.
Okay.
And also, while he's doing that, I just want to let everyone know um, last week's playback is actually on YouTube. If you follow us on YouTube, we'll have some playbacks, and sometimes on my Instagram, I'll listen back to the playbacks, and some of the profound things that we all say I may post it and share as well, as long as that's all right with everyone. I mean, though it's just be like a little quote, not like anybody's full words. So that's just to say, you can follow us on YouTube, Planet Restoration, as well as Instagram, though that's where you can find the playback. If there's any information you want to go back, review, write down, or share with someone, we're there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so looking at this, I don't know, RuBen, if you brought it up as well, looking at the
Yeah,
date. Okay. So I think
yeah,
it's actually crystal.
yeah. She's a crystal seed, but it's interesting that that's the DNA code is 1664, and
Mm-hmm.
and that she, even though she's not familiar, she felt that it was yellow galactic seed, so it just brought
Exactly.
it to
That
the
was
conversation.
interesting. Of all the ones you could possibly even utter or mention, you mentioned like the key one in any case.
Yeah, and I think during the moment that I spoke about it, I forgot to mention this 52-year framework because it's really powerful to bring it to consciousness because of this new zero cycle 33. So
Mm.
it's we are right in that harmonic
Mm-hmm.
during this entire year. So harmony is on the rise.
Hey, that's a good thing. That's what we're doing
Ruben,
this.
I'm sorry, I had lost connection and I didn't get to hear the confirmation.
Oh, that you're actually a yellow crystal seed, which is kin 64, and it's like an analog of the 64 uh, codons in the DNA and the 64 gene keys that Giselle was speaking about. So it's a powerful code. It's the code of life and DNA, and the 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 the, the energy of today is universal fire and life. So it's a perfect day for you to enter the synchronic order and start to tune in. Just following the daily count. We also recommend the work from Eden and Bob Sky. They have 13moon.com, I think, or .net maybe. And you can also follow the work that we do on Harmonic Convergence on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Harmonic Convergence 2020 2028. We added the dash 2028 this year because we see this timeline moving forward to that threshold, and we are going to keep presenting new tools and new ways to enter this frequency during these next 7 years from to 2028. You can also visit harmoniccalendar.info that we will be updating soon the website with all this information and with the integration and the synthesis of the tools we have been speaking about on this room for the last two Sundays. So thank you so much.
Oh, I just wanted to say really quick, like that for Bilal, it's okay to share my story on YouTube because it might just help somebody else. Like I was saying, I'm sure there's other people out there that have been having the same experiences I have and sitting in our thoughts confused, wondering like what's going on. So maybe someone else may need to hear that and get a better understanding, even from hearing just RuBen say that, other people have had the experience I've had, and maybe they may need a token, like, okay, to love on the person that's passed, just like I did, and it may calm the energies down a bit. So that's fine with me, because at least now I feel like I have a weight that was lifted off my shoulders because I don't have to sit around like what's going on, and it's been stressful. So I appreciate that, and if I can help somebody like I've been helped, it's fine.
Give thanks, sister. Sister Siobhan. Blessed love. Blessed night, everyone.
Exactly. Yes, and give thanks. I think we just had a brother named Shri enter and exit pretty quickly, but I think that's nevertheless we're going to wrap the room here. But want to thank everybody who's tuning in. Thank you, Deborah, for being in the audience this evening, and just sending you all love and upful energies to your families, to yourselves, to the communities in which you reside. And, I'm excited for what's to come, and very excited to be able to share more of these tools, as RuBen mentioned as well. So we'll continue the beat frequency of Dolly Day, what they currently call Sundays, every Dolly Day in Clubhouse here around the same time, and looking forward to staying connected with you all. And there's so many beautiful things to share together with each other and for the betterment of all. But we give thanks. Thank you for tuning in and being on the planet at this time.
Thank you so much. Thank
Om Shri.
I
I'm
am
Thank
sure.
you.
I'm sure.
one
you.
mind.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
I am one with the earth and myself are one mind, one heart, one perfect love.
Ashe.
Ashe.